Hey, welcome back to Sports Cards Analysis. I'm JT with another case break simulation. Today we got 2022-23 Immaculate Collection basketball, high-end product here. I think it's the second highest tier product that Panini has. And we're gonna look at some examples of some cards. There you go. I'm gonna give you a bunch of information on what you should do when you buy into breaks. If you use that advice, I hope you hit. I hope you hit big, but please don't blame me if you don't hit. This is just advice. Sometimes you hit, sometimes you don't. It's gambling, but this will make it more. This will make you more accurate at choosing which teams to buy. So, if you want to know really the details to some of this analysis, watch some prior videos. I'm going to try to get through this one a little quicker, so I'm not going to go over as many details. So, $9,099.95 is how much this cost at Steel City. What I'm giving you here is the distribution of that case cost, which is a reasonable price to charge for all the teams for a break. I'm going to distribute it across all the cards by type. So for the first one, I'm going to do autographs, and then I'll do all the cards. The reason I do this is because this gives you the price per probability. So who has the most autographs in this set? It's the Lakers. They have 2,225. All the cards are numbered in this set, so there's no guesswork. There's no analysis on how many packs and boxes they're gonna make. This is the actual number. So there's 2,225 autographs for the Lakers. And so if you want to pay for just the probability of getting a hit, you want to pay $688 for the Lakers. And then you go down here by team. So with that, as you look at this table, just know that this doesn't include the value of the players. This just includes the distribution, the probability of hitting an autograph. So that's it. It has nothing to do with how valuable the cards are. That's the next table, which I will talk about team strength and all that. So welcome, basketball fans. If this is your first time watching my channel, lots of stuff going on here. So this is what you should pay if you wanted to split the autographs up evenly. There's teams 1 through 10, 11 through 20, 21 through 30, and then we get into a lot of these dual, triple auto kind of things. And I don't really, I don't think you should pay for those specifically. So total cards, you want to look at, this includes memorabilia, parallels, and things like that. So this is a smaller set, so there's not like a base set. Actually, there is a base set with this one, I think. But you don't want to look at, like your traditional sets will have inserts and stuff. This is all high-end stuff. So this number really is inclusive, and it's valuable to know just what the distribution of cards are by team, because every card in this set matters significantly. So 511 for the Yankees, and they have the Lakers, might as well be, right? I'm just kidding. 3,428 different cards. That includes the parallels, the memorabilia, and the autographs. So that's how many cards they have in this. And then we go down from there. So there's page 1, there's page 2, page 3, and then that crazy page 4. So let's go back to page 1. So that's it. That's what you should pay if you just want to pay for probability. Now you don't. You probably want to pay for the strength of the checklist. So I've created an algorithm that simulates case breaks. So I do 200 case breaks, but I also rank players 5 through 1 or 1 through 5, whereas 1 is like guys who won't sell, 5 is people who will sell. I run the simulation, and then I calculate an average ROI. So all these players have a value assigned to them, and that's what we're going to talk about. So 1 through 5, this is how the product shakes out. So over the whole checklist of the product, there's very few 1s, but there are a decent amount of 4s and 5s, but the product kind of sits here around the mid-tier. So while this is a high-end product, it doesn't really have as high of an end of a checklist, and oftentimes that happens because of rookies. Rookies do that. So if there's a truly veteran product in some way, that will wind up boosting the score because they can include just the veterans that matter. But overall, 3.2 out of 5 for the autograph checklist only, and 3.2 out of 5 for the entire product, for the total product strength. So not the best product strength for a product that's this expensive, but that's Panini for you. They just can't help themselves. Someday I think they're going to release a product that just blows our socks off, but not yet. So average ROI for 200 cases. So this is, I run 200 case break simulations, add up all of the ROI, divide it by 200, and then here it is by team. Your product strength checklist, it kind of includes which teams have the most. It's a weighted sum, so it includes which teams have the most top tier autographs or whatever card type you're looking at, and down from there. So top tier, middle tier, and lower tier, and then it kind of ranks them. So average ROI for 200 cases, here's 1 through 10. The Denver Nuggets have the highest ROI for 200 cases. And again, this number is low because, well, sometimes you hit, sometimes you don't. So there's page 2. There's page 3. Use this in your purchases. Screenshot this stuff and use this. So we'll go back to page 1. So there you go. Use this information to make your purchases. It's very informative. This is simulations are pretty realistic. Okay. Now, you probably also want to know, well, what was the ROI only when it hit? I don't care about the cases that I don't hit in. Well, that's a good question because I show you that as well. So the average ROI only in cases where it hits, and I actually show you how many cases it hits. So if my simulation is realistic, which I believe it is pretty realistic, now you can see that the Denver Nuggets autographs, they only hit in 110 cases, which is actually really good. It's more than half the time. So more than half the cases of this product, you should see a Denver Nugget autograph. And when you do, the ROI is really good, okay? It's great ROI. So you can imagine, based on the players that they have and the number of autographs that are signed in this set, that would be the case. So that's how you read this table. So we go through here, and you can just kind of take a screenshot and look at this later. I'll try to leave the header showing where it tells you how to read this table. But overall, this is how many cases it showed up on when I ran my 200 case breaks. And then this was the ROI. So that's it. And this is the card type. There's autographs, memorabilia, parallels, and that's how it will go down. So that's page 2. Screenshot that. That's page 3. And if you're watching on YouTube and you can't see all 20 teams, it's probably because it cut off some of the bottom. So if you turn your phone to portrait mode, then it should show them all. So there you go. There's page 3, and then there's page 4, which is, the end of it. So there you go there on that stuff. So that should give you really informative insights on what to buy. Now, average ROI by set type. So for most products, there's these sets that are super rare, and sometimes you don't know what those are because they don't define them as short prints or whatever. So while I run this 200 case break simulation, I also kind of track which set types or subsets actually hit frequently. And so what I'm showing you here is, sophisticated signatures platinum. It only showed up in one case for 200. That's 0% because it rounds down. This update card from a previous set hit in 2 cases, and it was 1%. And here's kind of the ROI that we got from that. So when you look at this, and when we go to something that hit, very infrequently, but you expected it to hit more, something like maybe, let's find a good one, like Modern Marvels Platinum. Maybe you're thinking, this isn't as rare of a set as I'm thinking it is. Well, it only showed up in 4 cases. And so if you're thinking maybe my card's worth $550, but it only showed up in 4 cases out of 200, now you can start to think, well, maybe it's actually worth a little more. So maybe this ROI, I'll admit I'm not perfect. So maybe this ROI is based on historical data, whereas the current state of this set, Modern Marvels Platinum, is actually very rare. So I'm going to mark my card up. I'm gonna actually price it for $650 instead. That's kind of how you can look at this. So I'm going to go through 2 or 3 pages of this, and you just look at, here's the subset name. This is the type of card it is, and this is kind of the ROI rarity. So just look at that. Take screenshots again. Use this in your this not so much when you buy into breaks, but when you list your cards on eBay and check out my cards and stuff. How rare are those things? So this one's not as rare as some of the ones we're seeing. Sophisticated signatures red. So now maybe don't price it as high. So that's 2 pages. We'll just go over that. Now the master checklist. Let's just look at who has the most autographs in this set. Austin Reeves. Here's 1 through 10 for who has the most autographs. Very rare cards here, right? So we're gonna go over that. Why is it? Oh, I have it filtered. That's why I'm like, why is it all Lakers? Sorry about that. So this is actually who has the most autographs. It's still Austin Reeves, but now we include all the other teams. So going down from there, we'll just go across a couple pages. So if you're a player collector and you're like, how hard is it gonna be to collect the guy that I want the autographs of? Tim Hardaway Jr. Well, he's got 226 of them. So, not as rare as some of these other guys, but pretty rare. So there's page 5. We'll just go a couple more pages in to maybe 8. All right, so that's 8 pages. Karl Malone has 150 autographs in this set. So we can also look at who has the most cards, and it's still Austin Reeves. So this is the first 3 pages of who has the most cards in this set. And there you go. It's going to be pretty close to the autographs because this set is really about autographs. Cards by team. These are the teams, the top 10 teams that have the most cards. Kind of already went over this in a previous one, but I do want you to pay attention to this unique cards. A lot of checklists will give you how many unique cards per team there are, but they don't consider the print run. The print run's what matters here. That's total cards per team. How many one-of-ones are there in this set? 477. And if you are chasing one-of-ones, here's your top 10 teams for one-of-ones. The Lakers down from here. This column here is total cards out of 1. Okay, so look at that, and that will tell you how many cards each team has out of 1. Buy one of those 10 teams if you're chasing those one-of-ones. Now, the simulation results. I'm going to show you the 200th case because I just want you to know that I do run this, and that is a real thing, this simulation that I built. So this is this 200 case. I got one of one, and the rest, this is ordered by the smallest print run on. So this is kind of like set your expectations on the types of cards you're seeing here. They're not going to be all just home run slam dunks, So there you go. That's the first page of case number 200 simulation. Now for all 200, how many one-of-ones did we get? We got 48. So that's about a quarter of the time. So for every 4 cases that you see, one of those should have a one-of-one. And these are the one-of-ones that I was able to get in my simulation. So there's some pretty good ones in there. Now I've told you which teams to buy. The one top team or the top 10 teams. But let's look at how they are different break by break, because the top 10 doesn't mean that they're in that order all the time. Sometimes different teams have better cases, and you've seen that because you've watched breaks. So here's the first 20 cases in the 200 breaks, and how the teams, just find that team that you like, and how its bar chart differs break to break. This is just for 20 breaks. Each line is a different break. And then you can see that some teams have better results than other teams for different breaks. So it's not always bad for the team that you want. Sometimes the Lakers aren't that good. The Pistons are. So that kind of gives you an idea of you buy the Lakers, you're not always going to hit, and you buy the Pistons, you're not always going to lose. So there you go. Now in the 200 case breaks that I did, these were the order of the teams that I got for the cards returned to me. So not the master checklist, but just the 200 breaks. This is just cards by team. That's it. Lakers, Grizzlies, Thunder, in that order. And for one-of-ones, remember, I got a bunch of them, 48. So here's the teams I got the most of: Lakers, Pacers, Spurs, Bulls. So this kind of, if my simulation is pretty accurate, then maybe you could use my information here to inform your decision making later. Now, cards by type, autographs, and memorabilia, that's all we have here. So let's look at, this is from the 200 cases, how many autographs did I get per team? Here they are. That's, the top, whatever. I'll show you the top 20. There they are. There's the rest of them. And then I'll show you the top 20 for memorabilia. There they are. There's the top 20. That's it. That's 2022-23 Immaculate Collection basketball. Thanks for watching. Subscribe, like, comment, do all that stuff. Thanks a lot for watching. Bye.